Good morning, everyone. So I noticed how loud my heater was coming in on the last couple videos, very loud. So I've moved you further away from it, and I hope that that helps. But we're gonna have to play. We're gonna have to play a little bit with the angle, I think, just to get it so that this works for both of us. So good morning. It is Monday, the day that we call Monday. It's the date that we call the 20th. It's the month that we call October, and it is the year that we call 2025. So I hope you all had a good weekend. I hope that you had a beautiful weekend, a wonderful weekend. My weekend was interesting. Friday night, the truck messed up, and so Saturday, there were 4 phone calls made to try to get a hold of somebody to give my boyfriend a ride to the parts store, and no one was available, which is unusual. I mean, it's unusual because of the time that the calls were made. Normally somebody would have been available, right? And I said, I just feel like you're not supposed to be on the road this morning. I feel like that's the issue. The issue at hand is you're not supposed to go anywhere. Because the plan had been, he needed to go get some lumber. Because you guys know that we're in this huge mess. We found over 20 feet of rot on the outside of the house. And I'll break it down. I can't explain to you everything that we're going through to fix it. It would take, like I said last week, it would take over an hour. But let me just give you a basic rundown. The outside shingles had to be stripped. The tie bar had to then be stripped. The sheathing had to come off. And all the insulation had to come out. And then we had to replace floor sills, okay? And we had to replace floor stringers. And we had to replace wall stringers. And then we had to put new insulation in. And then we have to sheathe it. And of course we have to wrap it before snow, with more tie bar at least. And we have one section done. And with that one section that we did, that actually caused us to have to come into the house, all right, because the rot was created by 3 separate water issues, and water will take the path of least resistance, and it all happened to just destroy this particular area of my house. And we're very blessed that we found this before snow, and weight happens on the roof. So as we had to dig in, we had to come into the inside of the house because the water issues were kind of culminating at what I call the water room. And that would be where the holding tank is, where the hot water tank is, and where the washer and dryer are. So we had to take all of those things out. So now I don't have any hot water, or didn't. I do now. No hot water, no water at all, because the holding tank had to come out too. Everything had to be disconnected. Couldn't do laundry, had to pull out the washer and dryer. We had to rip out that floor on the inside, right? And replace that. And floor stringers there. And there's an interior wall that also had to be cut into because this water was climbing up the interior walls stringers. So it was a big to do, right? Which then included having to run new water lines and having to fix some plumbing in some areas. So this is a big deal. We got half of that section outside done. That's done. The sills are replaced, the wall stringers, the floor stringers, the insulation, the sheathing is all up. Now we're getting ready to do the second half, right? So the second half includes, we have to take out a window. The first half, there was no window, so that was good. We have all of the shingles stripped as far back as we need to replace, so that's done. But we still have the second half where we have to do all of the above that I said that we had to do in that first section. So we were without our own water for 14 days. And we were having to lug that from my sons. Don't forget, I've got barn animals and stuff, so we go through more water than probably most people. And we were showering at my sons and lugging water from my sons and whatnot. It was a pain in the ass. But, you know, you keep a good positive attitude. And just stay grateful that this is found before winter when there's weight on the roof. Because as bad as it was really, really bad, you guys. Can't even believe. We were just shocked. We were shocked. The snow would cave that wall. The weight on the roof would have been too much, and it would have caved that wall, which would have brought down the roof and everything else. So we're blessed that we found this, but it's a lot of work. It's just the two of us doing it, and it's a pain in the ass, no doubt, but we're getting there. And so there was a plan to go get, because we have other things that we're trying to do, like get our wood up, finish the project where we were already checking and replacing things on the other two sides of the house. And so we had checked everything over, and then now we're tie powering, but we're not finished tie powering because then this took precedence. And there's a piece of our chimney that needs to be replaced, and so we had to do that and get our wood stove back in because it's cold here now. We're having a cold fall. It's cold. We need heat. And so we had to go get lumber, and that was the plan, to go do that Saturday morning. But the truck messed up Friday night, just as he's shutting it off, and no one was available Saturday morning. And I said to him, I really believe you're not meant to be out traveling this morning. You're meant to be home. And, you know, I would say I was right, because he kept trying to work on the truck, and, you know, he couldn't get hold of anybody, and he's looking through the manual and the guide and all of this, that, and the other. And there's really no real reason why this should have been happening, because nothing matched up, right? And I really felt like he wasn't supposed to be on the road. Late that afternoon, all of a sudden the truck just worked, didn't have this issue, was fine. It was late that afternoon. Our mechanic, who I grew up with, and is brilliant, he's a genius. I grew up with him, kindergarten up through. Finally got a hold of us, and he's like, well, what I can do for you, because Eddie explained the situation, and he's like, what I can do is, we're going to want to wipe those codes, because that will just continue to screw your truck up. And he told him, he's like, you know, maybe you should get X, Y, and Z just in case. But he put it on the, he put the truck on the diagnostic, and he couldn't find anything wrong with it. But according to what Eddie had described had happened, he was like, maybe you could just acquire these parts just in case this happens again, and I'll wipe all of these codes so that your truck isn't, because that will make the truck, that will screw the truck up if the codes are all messed up. You know how it is with all this computerized crap. So anyway, our mechanic wiped the codes and did the diagnostic, and, you know, the truck's run fine ever since. And I really believe he was just not meant to be on the road, which put us behind in what we were going to do, right? Because that next section needed to be tackled. So then a good portion of the day was actually spent on a truck that doesn't really seem to have anything wrong with it. But the universe was keeping him home and off the road, I believe. So I'm very grateful. So anyway, because of the setback that happened on Saturday, we haven't tackled that second piece. We have the sheathing off and the shingles off, and we've got it tarped, right? So it's all ready for us to dig in, pull that insulation out, and start replacing things. But we couldn't do that because of the way Saturday went. So because of that, on Sunday, what we ended up doing is getting that section of the chimney replaced. And so that's done. Now we have to put the stove back in, because we had to move our wood stove out of the way completely so that we could work on the chimney. So we have the chimney done. And tonight, hopefully, if he gets home early enough, the two of us will move the wood stove back in place and then work on getting that all hooked up, because it's been chilly. We've been wanting to start a fire. So anyways, we had a little bit of a setback, but the universe was definitely keeping him home, I have no doubt. And I'm very grateful for that. And I always say, you may never know the reason. And that's okay. Just know that there was a reason. And that's happened so many times. And I just know there's a reason. You know what I mean? I trust. So that was our weekend. We spent all day yesterday working on that chimney from... let's see, when did it get finished? So we started it early in the morning, and we finished working on it about 3. And then we got things picked up and taken care of, and then we went to my son's for dinner. So that was really nice. Always nice when I don't have to cook, you guys. And yeah, that was really nice. So we went to my son's. We had a nice visit. We had a nice dinner. And it was just fun. It was nice. And it was nice to get away from all of the issues that we're dealing with here sort of all at once, But yeah, the universe is always, we're not alone. Life isn't happening to us. Life is happening with us. And we can look at things as a negative. Like, we could whine, bitch, cry, and complain that truck wasn't working, so we were unable to do what we needed to do to tackle that next section. Or we can see it for what it is, that the universe was keeping my boyfriend off the road probably to save his life or to spare him some sort of an accident, right? And as far as I don't think I've shared with you guys, I'm going to share with you guys, the part of the house that we discovered had a serious issue and a water issue going on, so we were able to fix all of these things, which are very important. Looked fine from the outside, right? You wouldn't know by looking at it that there was anything wrong with it, because the shingles looked fine and everything looked dry. I mean, you would not have known, right? But for a little period of time, we would sit down on the love seat over there, and because it's that wall, it's this wall over here, down that way by the love seat, and then further back on the back side of the house. And it would be dark, and we would sit down to unwind just a little bit before going to bed, and there would be this huge bang on the side of my house, like somebody was hitting it. And when you spend your whole life with supernatural experiences, you don't always pay much attention. You're like, oh, hi, and you just ignore it. And that's kind of how I am, because my entire life has been so full of supernatural experiences that it's nothing. It's nothing. It's as normal as breathing. Like, there's not a day that goes by that I'm not experiencing. So it's just kind of like a, hey, how are you? But the bangs got louder. And so I was like, okay, I think that I'm supposed to go out there and really look that side of the house over. And so I did, you guys. I went over, because I'm not over there that often. It's not the side of the house where we play with the dog or the goats or anything, because it's a smaller lawn And I have like a flock garden over there and some rose bushes and stuff, but we don't just sit and spend time there. And if I'm in the gardens playing with the flowers, I'm not looking at the house. So I went over and I'm inspecting everything, and I saw way up towards my soffit, it up high, it appeared that there was this little hole. Can you see? Little hole about that big. It looked that way to me from down below, looking way up, going right straight through the trailer. And I was like, what in the heck? And so I was like, that looks like that goes straight through. What in the heck? So I got my boyfriend and I drug him over there, and he was like, I said, that looks like a hole that's going straight through the house. And so he was like, I better grab the ladder and go up and inspect. And it was a hole. He put his finger through it. He's like, yeah, this goes straight through. And that would be up high enough so that it's going straight through into like where the space is between the ceiling and the roof. So not in through the wall or anything, but up in there. So because it's not in through the wall, we would have never noticed it, right? It's way up high. So we started pulling down some shingles, and we found what a disaster it was. And we were like, oh my goodness, we really need to like really rip into this. So that following weekend we started pulling down shingles and checking everything until actually it was serious enough that he said, I'm not going to work tomorrow. So that was on a Tuesday night, and he took the Wednesday off, and then it was a nine work days after that he had to take off. And we were still working on it at night, working on things at night. But and his boss was really good about it. So there's another blessing, you guys, another blessing. How wonderful his boss was, understanding. Very, very blessed. Another blessing. I'm going over all of this so that we can always remember to look for our blessings within our trials, right? So very, very blessed at how his boss handled that, because a lot of people would be straight up jerks about it. Oh, well, too bad. Whatever, you're getting your butt in or you're getting fired. And that absolutely is not the way his boss handled it. He was very supportive and just very good. So, yeah, that's how we discovered it, because we were getting the bang on the side of the house. And once I went over there and checked everything and we found that and started digging into it, that banging stopped. So that's the universe helping me discover a real big problem that would have been like, it would have been bad if we hadn't found it before snow. So very blessed. And then very blessed at how nice his boss has been about it. And then very blessed that Eddie is willing to tackle anything and work so hard to fix things, because it was a big pain in the ass. I told you, it's construction, it was plumbing, it was everything. And we're still not done. And then very blessed that the universe decided to keep him home and not let him go anywhere on Saturday. There's all these blessings. And because of that, and it is chilly, if we'd have been working on that this weekend, on the second piece, we wouldn't have gotten our chimney done. So we still wouldn't be running a fire, and it is getting very cold. So that did need to get done so that we could be comfortable. And so we were able to tackle that. Otherwise we wouldn't have. And I'm assuming we've got some really cold weather going on. So the universe gave us the opportunity to tackle that first. And then this weekend we'll get back out to the other section. We can't do it at night because he doesn't get home in time. It really, we're in the dark phases of our fall and winter. So it doesn't give you a lot of time outside in the evening to get anything done with any form of daylight. But there are all these, you see how all these little blessings are intertwined. And that's really where we have to stay focused. We have to stay focused on that. I have been sick with the Lyme flare, and we've been having to do that, and that sucked. But you know, there are also times in life where you just need to buck up. You pull up your big girl and big boy panties and buck up. And so that's what we've done. He had a tooth infection. I've had a Lyme flare, and we've just done what we've had to do. All the time being grateful. The other blessing is, it's kind of like this, right? But our car has a blown transmission, and we're still paying on it, and it's fix worthy, right? We've got to fix it. So we've been saving money for a year to get this thing fixed, because it's not only are the parts expensive, but the labor will be too. And so we've been saving up, and we just had enough. The night before we found all of this, we were like, all right, we've got enough to tell the mechanic to go ahead. We can finally have this damn vehicle fixed. So we finally had enough saved. Well, the car's not getting fixed, but that money was then used to fix the side of the house, which is more important, that we have a roof over our head. So that's a blessing, right? That's another blessing. So all that money went into what we needed for the house to get that sturdy again. And the other blessing is, I've had all this wood to put up, and we've had all of this other stuff going on. My son took 3 days that he actually didn't have to work, and he came out and helped stack wood, and he stacked a bunch for us. So that's a blessing, you guys. I still have a bunch more to stack, but that's a blessing that my son gave his time to us, because he knows we've got all this shit going on. And that's a big deal, because my son doesn't get a lot of time off. He works 2 jobs, and he doesn't really get time off. So for him to do that for us is huge. So I've got a lot of things to feel very grateful for and very blessed for. We're being challenged. We have a challenging situation, but we can see how the universe is working with us to take care of us. Do you see what I'm trying to say? So, like, it's very important for us to stay focused on our blessings. I know a lot of people that would be in a negative Nancy way and just be complete shitheads about all of this. My boyfriend has had a really good attitude, and I am so grateful that he has such a good attitude about things. It's another blessing, right? That's another blessing. So always important to keep our blessings, to keep looking at our blessings and really see how the universe is working with us, not against us, not doing things to us. You know, life happens, shit happens, and the universe is usually working to support us. And all we have to do is look to see that, you guys. So, and then let me just say the other blessing is all that missed time. That's obviously a hardship, right? We have bills, and the missed time from work is a huge hardship, because it is. We have bills, and they don't care that our side of our house is falling off. They don't care that the plumbing and the water lines all need to be fixed. They don't care about any of that. So my boyfriend's boss and he were talking, and his boss said, you know, I've really been thinking about this, and this is a hardship, and how about if I float you a 40-hour week, and so that you've got a paycheck coming in, and you can just pay that back 8 hours at a time. So what a blessing. Like, what an amazing blessing. So yeah, the universe and it's a wonderful thing working with us as long as we stay in that flow. It's important for us. The whole reason why I'm rambling on for nearly a half an hour telling you about all of the little challenges we've got going on here is because as long as we stay in flow, as long as we keep a good attitude, as long as we look for the positives, as long as we stay in gratitude, and I'm not saying be fluffy, because that's spiritual bypassing. Every time you're like, oh, I'm not going to look at anything negative and blah, 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 and life is just all puppy dogs and roses. I'm not saying being that, because that's spiritual bypassing, and that doesn't work either. That's a bunch of horse shit. You have to stay grounded in reality, right? Use your logic, see things for what they are, and then look for the things to be grateful about, and not allow your vibration to come down and get all piss-faced about it. You know, stay grounded, stay balanced, stay logical, set up a plan, create a plan in motion, start the motion. Stay positive and grateful for what is. It's okay to say, this is a pain in the ass. It's a pain in the ass. It's okay to not be one of those fluffy people that I always say have their head in one of two places, either in the clouds or up their ass, because that's not sustainable and it's not healthy, right? But it is very important for us to stay in that attitude of gratitude, and for us to look at things logically. Even when we're looking at, like, when people send me all this fear porn or whatever, I will look at it logically and I'll say, I don't consent to that. That's not the world that I'm creating. That's not the world that I choose, you know, and then I go about setting my decrees. I don't consent to this happening in my town, my state, my country, my world. And then I go about the business of continuing in my mind's eye to see what it is that I'm choosing, that I want. And I'm not fluffy about it. I'm not fluffy. I'm well grounded, and I'm very logical and discerning. But I'm not going to waste my energy on a bunch of fearful stuff. I'm not going to manifest that, right? And I understand that the universe works in particular ways. So I spend time every day energetically sending healing out to this earth and the world and the ethers. And so then I just stay even more focused. When I get this shit in, that means that, okay, now I'm going to stay even more focused, and make sure that I don't let up, because right now it's really needed. But yeah, it's very important to stay balanced, focused, grounded, logical, discerning, not have our head up in the clouds and be all fluff, but to be able to stay in that balanced, grounded way and see clearly how the universe is working with you and helping you. And the universe will continue to work with us as long as we keep ourselves in that place, right? Because then we're able, it's smooth, we're in alignment, we're matching what the universe is helping us with. When we drop our vibration, you guys, and we go low and we get into fear and we get angry and hostile and worried and focused on negative things, just only focused on the negative, then it's like we're two opposite ends of magnets. The universe is trying to bring you what you want, and you're creating this resistance to it, right? So it's like two opposite ends of the magnet. We want to stay so that we can come together, right? We want to stay in a particular vibration where we can come together with the universe for our highest and greatest good. And it's really important. And I've had people get really pissed at me when I've said things like, there's a blessing in every challenge. All we have to do is look for it. They get pissed. And then I've had people spit those words back at me, thinking that they were going to, like, I don't know, put me in my place or something when something is going on in my own life. And they don't, the people that have done it don't do that anymore. because they're like really cocky or snide. Oh, well, there's a blessing in every challenge. All you've got to do is look for it. And then I rattle off to them all of the blessings that I've already found in my challenges. And it shuts their mouth pretty freaking quick, let me tell you. And now they don't try to, like, be the asshole to me about it, you know? But there's a blessing in every challenge. There's a blessing in every tragedy. Because through those tragedies, if we allow it, that's room for growth. And there's room there for us to become better people through our experience and our healing through it. Gives us the opportunity to either be bitter or better, right? So, yeah, with all the fear porn that's going on out there right now, I just wanted to talk about finding the blessings, staying in gratitude, staying in alignment with the universe. Believe me, if there's something that's meant karmically to happen, it's going to happen. And if it's not meant karmically to happen, then we can heal it. That's how I see it. And it makes life pretty simple. It's kind of like when COVID was going around, I was like, I don't see why everybody's so upset, because if we're meant to die from COVID, we will. And if we're not, we won't. If I'm meant to get sick with COVID, I will. And if I'm not, I won't. And I just said I don't consent to it and I don't align with it. And I'm not a vibrational match to it. You know, I've never been sick with that flu that people were calling COVID. Not once. I still decree I don't align with that. I'm not a vibrational match to it. So yeah, staying in the attitude of gratitude and staying positive and not allowing shit to bring down our vibrations. Be logical, but don't fall into that space of worry or resentment or let it overtake you. It's not good for us. And it does not serve us. Consistently throughout my life, really, I've been shown not to walk with fear, but consistently since I started doing these readings, when I started first thing on Facebook for my friends way back, I think it was March, I think, of 2020. I said the very first car was your card laid. I think the very first day was don't walk with fear, you're strong. And it's been consistent. It's been a consistent message ever since. So I know there's a lot of like black pilling, because there always are. Those are just assholes psyoping you, I think. And because I mean, being awake, it's a lot to carry. So we really do have to be discerning and balanced and grounded, because it can drive you into. I've seen people just lose all happiness for decades over this. So, being awake to what's going on in the world is one thing, but when we have that higher power and when we fill ourselves with our Creator, and when we realize that we are just plucked out of that and part of that, and we will go back to that, and all of this, when we realize how powerful we are, and when we stay connected and filled to that, nothing seems all that scary, So just go back to that. If you're seeing the fear porn and it makes you worry at all for a minute, go back to that. Just go back to that. If you're having challenges and it's bringing you down for a minute, go back to that and start looking with clear eyes to see how the universe is guiding you and working with you. It's the best that we can do, and it makes life a hell of a lot easier here. And when we're in alignment, we will be able to receive the help. And if we're not, it will be like those days where you get out of bed and the first thing you do is, you fall out of bed and then you stub your toe, and then then, you know, you spill your coffee, and then everything you touch is a disaster, and then you go to get in your car to go to work, and you know, the car won't run, or the tire's flat. Those days is because we're not in alignment. And that's when we really want to clear ourselves and start really pulling that light again and getting ourselves centered. Ground, pull that light, fill yourselves up, center, and look with clear eyes to see. And I've gone on for 35 minutes, and I feel like it's a good time, though, for us to all have this reminder, because I've been getting sent a lot of stuff, and I'm not even going to give it the time of day, because I've already set my decrees that I don't accept it, and I do not consent to it. And I honestly, when I was looking at it and feeling my way through it, I didn't have any of those sparks. No sparks to make me feel like I should be preparing or worried about this in any way. You know what I'm saying? So with all of that being said, blah, 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 Lori running her mouth again. Don't follow any links or emails in the comment section of the channel soliciting you for anything, pretending to be me or anyone else. Don't do it. Those are scammers. Don't fall victim to scamming. Secondly, the healing intentions always, always, always are set for you folks. If you want that and you so choose, stand in your power, decree that for your highest and greatest good, only and always. Breathe that in, allow that to integrate through the body for as long as you want, right? And so with all of that being said, I want to start the reading with one card from my awesome and very cool Deviant Moon deck, you guys. And let's see what the universe wants to say to us with one card, okay? And we'll cut them, you guys. We'll cut them. And we'll pull one from the top. What's the message for today? The message for today, the Knight of Pentacles. So the Knight of Pentacles is actually quite grounded and guarded. And he is walking forward in life, quite grounded and quite guarded. So, if you look, I'm sorry about the glare. It's early. I've been on here for over a half hour now, rambling on about life, but it is not quite 7 a.m. yet. So it's dark. It's darkish. It's starting to light up now, but the glare of the lights is making it. It is what it is. But anyway, there you go. This is the Deviant Moon deck. And this is the Knight of Pentacles, and you can see that he is moving forward in the world smoothly, because he's on wheels. You see that? He's moving smoothly in the world on wheels. He's in his suit of armor, so he's protecting himself energetically. Okay, got his bubble around him. And he has very bravely and boldly, he's got his asset right in front of him. And he's just moving out in the world, knowing he's got this shit, basically, right? So he's taking the time to protect himself energetically so that nothing can penetrate his shield. He's rolling through life very smoothly on his wheels there. And he's got his assets there in front of him, knowing that nothing bad is going to happen. He's not afraid of being stolen from. He's not afraid of losing them. He's very confident in the world. He's very confident. He protects himself spiritually, and he goes out into the world, and he just moves about the world confidently without a care, because he knows he's got this shit. So that is our advice, you guys. Stay spiritually protected, right? Just keep your armor of God on, if that's the way you want to look at it. Your spiritual bubble. Keep filling yourself with light. Stay well grounded. Protect yourself spiritually, and that goes a long way mentally and emotionally. Honestly, personally, I believe if we're not in spirit, our mind and our body can't come together, and our emotions and our mental state are a mess. That's my humble opinion, and in my experience, when I've watched people find their spiritual path and start aligning with that and filling with that, their lives have changed for the better. So I've seen it with my eyes. So with my own eyes, and I know how it affects me in my life, right? So stay connected to spirit, you guys. Stay well grounded. Keep a positive attitude. Keep your spiritual armor on. Keep your vibes high. Keep sending love and light and healing out into the world. When you've filled yourself, after you've grounded, after you've protected yourself, after you've filled yourself, after you've sent it out into the earth, into the world, into the ethers, make sure to fill yourself again and do your spiritual grounding again. But we've got this, and that will make life a lot smoother of a travel for us, rolling through life a little smoother, knowing we've got this, okay? And challenges, they're just part of the world. We've come here to experience. This isn't supposed to be all easy and smooth sailing. If everything were easy and smooth sailing, we'd never have a true appreciation for things. And it's the work of staying balanced and looking for the blessings and allowing the growth after the experience that helps our soul evolve. We came here to experience. All right, so now with all of that being said, let's get a universal message around Trump's Truth Social post to the tune of Aerosmith that I listened to this morning, which points out very clearly in the beginning how Bush Sr. was present and part of that umbrella club. Well, it doesn't point out that he's part of the umbrella club, but he's definitely carrying the umbrella at the assassination of JFK. And it's quite a video, and it has a string of things in it. And I want to, the person that sent it to me said, wow, I hope this means that we're close to something really big. And I think with Trump and with a lot of these people that are putting out things like that, it's getting the consciousness ready for something, right? So I just want a quick spread with that. And then this week's readings, the other things that we're going to do, we're going to take a look at veterinarian medicine. It's so irritating. I'm so over the shop bullshit. So there's some things that I was talking about with a person the other day that she would really like to have me do a reading on. I can't remember every single thing right now this morning. But we're going to do those over the course of the week. And they're all pretty important topics, right? So right now, let's just get a reading on Trump's Truth Social message that he put out. She sent this to me yesterday. And it's a video. And it is to the tune of Aerosmith. And I did watch it this morning because I was very busy yesterday. So I watched it this morning. And I want to see what the universe has to say about that with a 7-card spread. Please and thank you. Let's give us a story behind the reason why our president, Donald Trump, put that video up on his Truth Social to the tune of Aerosmith, where it highlights some criminals and some criminal activity. Please and thank you. Let's get a pathway and a story around this, okay, you guys? So, ooh, new beginnings, washing clean, and in cycles. I just gotta look because I'm not used to doing it this way. So let me just lay them, and then I'll look, you guys, to see how I need to arrange them, if at all. I gotta move these. We've got some things ending here. Okay, so let's take a look, you guys. Let me just pull them. It's a different angle for me. So I just gotta get a little bit, I just gotta change it just a little tiny bit. And I will pick them up so you guys can see them. I'll pick them up so you guys can see them. Let's go like that. And just tip it down a little bit. Maybe. Alright, you guys. So let's talk about the pathway. The pathway that is driving all of this is emotions. Okay? It's the Knight of Cups. And that really is, that's my very emotional card. It represents... often in a reading, it will represent the true child because it's all water. He's dressed up like a fish. He's got the starfish around him. He's holding a cup. He's by the water. It's all about emotion. And it's the Knight. So it's a young, fresh, it can be a fresh energy or a young energy. When it's set up like this, I'm going to say this is all emotion, and there's a lot of childlike, unhealed, unhealthy emotions that are triggering everything right now, okay? And it's a highly emotional time. And boy, don't we know it. We've been living through a highly emotional time. It's been going on for a long time. And people are acting out. They're acting out ridiculously, okay? It's a highly emotional time where people are acting emotionally immature and ridiculous, all right? And right above that, we have the Magician. So a new beginning with that one. So think of awakening, think of the crown chakra, thinking of connecting to source, right? Think of all of those things. Something new, higher vibrational in the beginnings, but a shitload of tools being used to create an illusion, okay? So, and that's a higher arcana card, and that's sitting just above the energy, and it's sitting in between the story where it begins and what's across from it. Okay, so right now, let's just know that everything is an illusion, and we're living through a time of great illusion and deception. What does the Magician do? He tricks the eyes, right? He tricks the eyes. Like, he doesn't really disappear a car. It's all an illusion, right? So he distracts you with one thing to then trick your eyes into believing they're seeing something that they're not, right? And that is the time that we are living in. That is the time that we are living in. And right above that, we have the Media card. Oh, that's it. that's it, Marissa. If you're listening, I just remembered one of the things that we talked about. One of the readings that we're going to do this week is really based on this media card. But we may be getting some information today via this reading that might give us some insight into that media. So this may be the beginning of that. All right. So a lot of childhood, childlike, tantrum-like emotions are driving this whole reading because the world's gone crazy. Everybody's acting the fool, right? And then above that, we have the Magician. And that's the build of everything that we're going through right now. We're starting something brand new, you guys, but every single thing is like you're being distracted. You're being distracted. Your ears are being distracted so that they can trick your eyes. So everything's an illusion. And above that, we have this is my media card, you guys. So this is under the vibration of love. So know that we are starting something new in life, higher and more vibration, higher in vibration, a new way. We're beginning something different than what we've been doing here thus far in our lifetimes, okay? But we are under that illusion where everything is an illusion. And then above that, we have that 6. So that is divine love birthing something new, being looked after by the divine. We're not going to talk about the polar opposite of that, where it's inverted by the dark occult. We're going to talk about the positive, because there's a positive and a negative to every single thing. So the positive to the 6 is divine love birthing something new. But this is my media card. Let me see if I can get it without glare. Do you see how there's an audience there? There's people out there with their family, and they're looking up to this stage. And on the stage, you've got literally the light and the dark playing something out. And the eyes on the stage look as though they're brainwashed. I hope that this focuses. Let me see if I pull it back just a little tiny bit. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see it because of, just because the nature of my lighting here. But trust me when I say the audience's eyes look brainwashed. So in cartoons, you know how they'll draw the eyes with like these circular motions when somebody's just been hypnotized or brainwashed. That's what's taking place in this media, what I consider the media card. So everybody's acting out emotionally based on all of the bullshit and all of the illusion that's happening to actually shift things into a new way of being. And it's being brought to them via the world stage or the media, where they're being bullshitted, you guys. They're being sort of hypnotized, put under a spell. You have the dark doing their thing. You have the light doing their thing. And it's out there for the whole world to see, right? So this is quite a pathway. So why is Donald Trump putting up this social media card? Because he wants everybody to know. Everybody's in this emotional state. And he's actually triggering people's emotions even more by letting everybody know that everything's been a damn illusion, right? Everything has been an illusion. And what you're seeing, what you've been watching on this world stage is literally a dance between the light and the dark. And he's pointing out the dark, right? He's pointing things out. Why? Why though? Well, because it's time to get everything kind of washed clean. So with this Ace of Cups, his intentions are good. They're loving. It's time to wipe things clean. With the Ace of Cups, that is love. That's all about love. It's a very clean, clear, loving emotion, right? Nurturing emotion. So he's putting this out, and it also, if you look at in this, it's the glares there, but If you look at this card, the Ace of Cups, you'll see how the moon is blowing into the cup. Well, the moon represents intuition. And so just look at it this way. Donald Trump's intentions of putting that on Truth Social come from a good space, okay? And think of him as the moon blowing into your cup with this information to wake up your intuition so that you can see very clearly as we come over the illusion and the bullshit that you've been under. But also, instead of being so focused in this childhood tantrum-like energy, because a lot of people are like, I want it now, I want it now, I want it now. I can't live another day if I don't get my way and see arrests and blah, 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 blah. Okay, well, that's just being a drama queen, because the truth of the matter is we all wake up the next day and put our pants on all over again, right? So obviously we can live another day. Our intimate life should not revolve around this type of emotion. It's very important for us to be aware and awake and know what's going on in the world and take action and work for our countries and to keep our countries free if you've got a free country, to stop things from happening that aren't good, to spread the word, to do your part, right? But it's not supposed to consume our life. So I've been awake a long time, and I know I've got someone on here that she's been awake basically her whole life, like over 80 years of carrying the weight of awakenedness. And so think about that. So if you've been carrying that for over 80 years, you've carried a lot of weight, and she is a very spiritual, lovely person, and she keeps a positive attitude. And if she can do it, we all can too, right? But apparently there's been a lot of focus, sadness, energy on everything that seems to be dead, not good, the old way that didn't work, okay? Because this is my 9 of rods. And rods are the daily journey, and 9 is an ending of a cycle. So part of the reason why he's got that out there, showing the corruption within this video, is because he's hoping to wake up the intuition, show the illusion that we've been under for a very long time, and also let people know we're sparking something new. It seems as though there are a lot of people who are just downtrodden, emotionally unwell, not having emotional resilience. If you're in this phase, if any one of us gets in this phase, this is when we're not resilient emotionally. Emotional resilience is very important to build. Emotional health is very important to strive for, and that takes emotional healing, inner child work, and shadow work, facing the shadow. But it's very important to strive for it if we want to live our best life here on this earth plane. So he wants people to lift their heads and get excited, because we are sparking something new. This cycle that didn't work for us, you guys, truly is coming to an end, with that moon being right above that, okay? And so with this moon, it's like puppets on a string. The moon is manipulating these puppets. They're puppeteers. They're marionettes. That's the word. They're marionettes. So the moon always ends things. The moon creates big reveals, right? So the moon reveals things. The moon ends things. And in this particular deck, the moon is controlling particular puppets. And we're asking about a Truth Social post where there's some exposure in this post, letting people know that something is coming, pointing out the fact that Daddy Bush was there with his umbrella as part of the CIA on the day of JFK's assassination, right? and then showing, like, you guys just all go look for it. Just like she said when she sent it to me, she said, just watch it. It's too much to explain, but it's showing all of these corrupted people, right? So this is what the post is all about. It's letting people know that we're ending a cycle, that there was shit that didn't work for us, but pick our heads up. Stop being in a place of like upset, and realize, look past the illusion and realize that something really nice, something new with life in it, and it totally, because look at what's sparking. In this deck, all of these rods behind him are dead, no life. And right beside him, there's this beautiful rod that comes up. It's engulfed in greenery, abundance, life, and it's got the glow of a beautiful flame on it. Like, new life is being sparked. Something new is happening, but too many people are focusing on the shit, and they won't pick their heads up because it feels better to wallow, I guess. And what he's trying to do is ignite that, get them to lift their heads up, see what's happening, ignite their intuition with this Ace of Cups, wash themselves clean, look for all of the illusion that's still happening in the media, but know that what's going on in the media is happening under the love vibration. So apparently it's important that we're still seeing the illusion of the good guys and the bad guys on the media, and the media where you're going to get all of the BS talk. And though it might feel as though it's fueling the fire to people like us that are like, because we just had this conversation the other day where it seems as though if you've still got the assholes on the media saying lies, creating this illusion, that it's only fueling the fire for TDS or for cognitive dissonance or for confirmation bias for people that are especially in this state of being, right? And it doesn't seem like, we're curious, like, how does it do any good? And we were actually saying, when is it going to go down? But it looks like for right now, that media card is there because it is actually, if you look, it comes diagonally up from the Ace of Cups. It's actually opening up people's intuition. So I don't watch mainstream, but apparently mainstream and all of this illusion and these guys on there still running their mouths, it's becoming so foolish or so obvious that it is actually awakening people's intuition. So even people that were brainwashed and hypnotized by it, it has to play out that way to ignite people's intuition, okay? And so above the Ace of Cups, we have that Knight of Wands. That's my the King of Wands. The King of Wands rules with the highest and greatest good for everyone with his intentions, okay? So he's fair, he's passionate, and he wants things to be good. That really is his focus. It really is his point. He's doing it for the highest and greatest good. Now let's go back to the question. We want a story around why he put this post up on Truth Social. Well, this post in part is he's doing it for the highest and greatest good. There's definitely a point in it for him. He feels like it's a good idea to do it. His intentions were good. He's hoping it's going to spark some intuition, calm some emotions, get people to look at the illusion that they're seeing on the social media and understand how this social media still has to be this way to spark others' intuition. It's to get people to pick their heads up that have said, we're waiting too long, we've waited too long, and to get the hope back, pick their head up, and start feeling that hope, you guys, that excitement, and get out of the doldrums right? Which is driving this. Get out of the doldrums and get excited again and understand that we're going through a period with this moon where major things are going to be revealed. The things that he posted will be revealed. Understand that with this moon, people's intuitions are waking up. Also understand that cycles are ending, and understand right across, if you look at my King of Wands, which would be representing Donald Trump, across from that is the moon. Understand that he is the puppeteer right now, or his team is the puppeteer, and everything you're seeing on the media, both the back channels, the stuff that he posts, and the things that you're seeing on the regular media where people are hypnotized, he and team, or the team, are in control of everything. They're the puppeteers. And don't worry, this cycle is ending, okay? And look, we have 2 9s, honestly, because with the moon, you've got your 10 plus 5, right? There's your 15. And then you've got 1, 2, 3, so that's 18. So when you break that down, 1 plus 8 is what? It's 9. And that's an ending also of a cycle. So he wants you to understand that he's in control of the media, or at least his team. There's something bigger that is controlling this all, and they're controlling it with the intentions of things being from the highest and greatest good. That's the standpoint that they're going at it from, with the intentions of all's highest and greatest good only, with this Knight of King, with the King of Wands, from the perspective of love and washing things clean and igniting people's intuition and wanting people to pick up their heads and not be depressed and look for what's blooming and what's true, and understand this is all a controlled presentation to reveal things and end things, and to snap people out of allowing the emotions to rule them and get them back into logic and intuition, as we were saying earlier before, right? And see through the illusion and break the brainwashing and be able to clearly see how this has to play out, so that people can get into their intuition, so that people will start to see the ridiculousness of things and how it's changed, and sort of prep people for the reveals that are coming. Does that make sense, you guys? There's a lot of detail in these cards. There's a lot of detail in the Deviant Moon reading. But that's the whole point. Getting people to understand that there is a way that's ending, and breaking the spell, seeing that this is all a controlled presentation right here with this media card. And it's being done for particular reasons. So the back channels, it's controlled. It's to ignite people to get excited at what's beginning. It's to have people see that there are some reveals in this. It's to have people kicking into gear into their intuition. It's so that people understand everything's been an illusion, and the show continues on the media, both the back side and the front side. It's really important for people to be more discerning, get into their intuition, and understand like everything's a damn illusion, and people are being puppeted and controlled, and we're starting something new. We're ending an old way. We're lifting a vibration, and there will be reveals. So that's why he's done it. There's a whole shitload of reasons, and it looks to me with this layout that it was a well thought out plan. So I'm just gonna grab a couple more cards because we're an hour and 9 minutes in. And I'm going to see if there's, just get the 2 to play off that media card. and to cover the ending, and to cover the King of Wands. And then we'll close this reading out. So please know that everything is an illusion. Know that the back channels and the front channels are all really being looked at and pretty much controlled. Know that everything that's being done, including this post, is being done to wake people up out of this spell and get into their intuition a little bit more, and not allow crazy emotions to drive them, to not be down in the doldrums, to actually look to seek the view of what is happening that's positive. Know that big reveals are coming. Everything's in control. The moon is ending this. We're starting something new. I just got that. It wanted to fall out. So I'm taking it, you guys. And yeah, the media has to continue to play out this way so that people's spell will break, and they'll start to see the illusion, and they'll start to see the baddies and how they've been hypnotized and manipulated. So we're keeping the Hierophant. The Hierophant says in this deck, it's a very spiritual card in this deck for me. It's 5. 5 is always about great change, you guys. So we're going through great change. We're going through spiritual change. And a vibrational shift with such a spiritual card, right? And that's going to be uncomfortable for people, because with 5 and change, there's a level of discomfort, there's a level of chaos. So the advice with this card is to stay in faith. And yeah, stay in faith. And in this deck, like, this guy's like, he's out there, he's saving kids. He's got a little kid in his pocket. He's praying. He's saying, what else can I do? He's dressed in red. He's got that passion. He's got that courage. He's very much connected to his source energy, his creator, the Most High God. Whatever you want to, however you want to label it. I don't believe any of us have the correct name here on the earth plane. But whatever you want to call it, right? So he's staying in faith, understanding that he's going through great change. And his faith is keeping him balanced between the dark and the light. You'll look at his floor is like a checkerboard. It's the black and the white. So it's keeping him balanced. And then just think of that as also like maybe a game of chess. We're in a huge game of chess. And so stay very high vibrational. We're going through great change through discomfort. And the universe wants to say that, okay? So that wanted to just fall right out. Now I'm going to take the next 2. And I'm going to lay them right over the king. Just the continuing of the story. We're going through, this is higher arcana cards, you guys. So right now, okay, let me get a sip of my coffee. All right. So this Tower card, the Tower, where a foundation was not sturdy, and it is now crumbling, creating a huge shift in things, okay? And this is going to be obvious that you should be able to see this, because this is 10 plus 5 is 15 plus 1 is 16 equals 7, which means seek and ye shall find. There is evidence that we're going through, that the old foundation was not sturdy. It is crumbling. The old foundation is actually being destroyed in this, right? So in this Tower card, rather than it just crumbling because it wasn't built on anything strong, you literally have this spaceship out here saying, I'm taking you down, baby. So you have something from a higher perspective, a higher viewpoint that's saying we're crumbling the way things were done. We're tearing it down bit by piece, piece by piece. This was not a solid foundation. This is not working for people. It may look solid, but it's not, and we're destroying it. In this Tower card in the Deviant Moon deck, you have people jumping, saying, oh God, save me, save me. These would be the people that are, that have been controlling the tower to begin with, right? So there's your clue that a lot of the people that were controlling the basis of the foundations that were not serving us, you guys, have jumped ship under the power of this higher perspective, the people that are literally working to help crumble these old systems, and that's laying right over Trump and team. But don't forget, it's also touching the Ace of Cups, which is divine love. So they're all coming at this from a place of divine love to destroy what was not working, okay? And so we're going through this giant shift. And part of the destruction will show the illusion because the tower is touching the magician. So part of the destruction will show the illusion, and this is a slow destruction with this tower, like it's being taken down piece by piece. This has to play out on our social media. It has to, in the way that it's going, because that's going to be part of what breaks the spell. And then next, don't worry, Hakuna Matata, be happy, guys. This is our genie in a bottle. This is our wish fulfillment. This is really good stuff. We should be very happy. This is a 9. This is ending things. Be happy. When you see stuff on social media that shows how ridiculous the baddies are, know that this is playing out for a reason. It's part of the shift. It's part of the takedown. They're being controlled. This is a wish fulfillment. It is leading up to an ending of the way things are done via social media. It looks to me like because of the ridiculousness, they're killing the news foundation, you guys. So they're shifting that news foundation. And seeing how it goes back to the question about the post on Truth Social, I think what you're going to see and what they're telling us here is that as they take down the mainstream news by exposing how ridiculous it is, by letting it show its own ridiculousness, knowing that they're being puppeted and made to get out there and be that ridiculous, the back channels, there'll be something new that is born, that already has been born, but something new that is going to be born that is more solid in the way of the media. And this is a very good thing. It's a wish fulfillment. We should be celebrating. Know that this whole thing is puppeted to create reveals around the media and around the baddies and around the illusion and the people that have been running the tower the way that it used to be. So stay in faith. Know that the ending is, it's all being exposed by that moon. It's being crumbled slowly by people of a higher frequency, with the highest and greatest good for intentions, with love, hoping to open people's intuition to show how there's been this huge illusion all this time, and to show the way they've been hypnotized and brainwashed. And get happy, because everything that you're seeing playing out right now really truly is an illusion. And we've already sparked something new. We just got to look for it. So that's what I'm getting. So his posts like that, he does a lot of like really good, like sort of exposure things and kind of puts it all out there, you guys. And it's all to get people like you excited, right? You and me excited. It's to seed the consciousness. It's to show people that a lot of the people that they've trusted thus far, it's been an illusion, and they've been deceived. They've been hypnotized. The way the actual news is playing out is why it's more and more ridiculous on those left-leaning channels is actually under control, is what I'm getting, you guys. And so it's to kind of show people how ridiculous it is. And a lot more people will wake up to their intuition. The advice through that whole reading is we've got to get out of our emotions. We can't let our emotions drive us and trigger us. That's why everybody's acting the fool these days. I swear, people just acting crazy. Just crazy. It's quite a time to witness. So, yeah, looks pretty good. That kind of answered our media card, our media question that we were going to delve into this week. That this particular question around his Truth Social post answered that. So, because it delved in deeper. But know that this is to expose. And, yeah, what a time to be alive. What a time. It's to get us excited, to get some people ignited. And, you know, we do know that there will be some people that choose to stay in that brainwashed frenzy where they're only going to stay in their cognitive dissonance and their confirmation bias. And that's okay. That's their path. Let them. Right? Not our problem. Not our circus. Not our monkeys. Right? Not our monkeys. So, if they want to dance around in that circus, let them. Let them. Let's all of us just keep focusing on building our lives as best as we can. Staying positive, staying in gratitude, staying in alignment with the universe, allowing the ebb and flow, allowing the universe to work with us. Get excited for the things that we see. We got that 7. Seek and ye shall find the proofs. And continue to build our best life. And keep sending that healing out there. And trust our Creator above everything. Trust our Creator, our highest version of selves, our spiritual team. Know that we chose to come here at this time for the experience, to be part of it, for our soul's growth, and trust that process. I know a lot of people say, trust the plan, trust the plan. And, you know, I don't put a lot of faith in humans. I don't put a lot of trust in humans. I put my trust and my faith, and I don't even like to say faith because it's a knowing, in my Creator and in the universe and in my highest version of self and in my team, because I know that I chose to come here for this time. And I know I came here to witness it and be part of it, and maybe even in whatever small way I can help move it forward. And I'm grateful to watch it unfold, as crazy as it's been sometimes, as triggering as it's been sometimes. I'm just grateful for the experience. And I trust that. I trust that my soul came here for this reason, for its experience. So I trust that plan. And I trust that my spiritual team that's here with me, guiding me, also counseled me over there before I did it. And we all came together and said, you can do it, Lorri, just like you all can do it too. And, you know, they're helping me because I was mind washed when I came here. And I don't recall everything from the other side, right? So my team is here helping me, and I trust that, and I trust my Creator's plan for me and this planet and all of us. So that's how I roll, and so I trust. And yeah, anyway, that's what I'm getting, you guys. And we're gonna end with one card. What do they want to leave us with the information that we've been given as the energy stands right now? What would you like to leave us with, please? And thank you. Let's see, one card. All right, we've got the 3. Be joyful. Be joyful, okay? Stay in joy, stay in celebration, but don't be foolish. So that is our advice that they're leaving us with, you guys. In my Deviant Moon deck, these guys are being foolish. They're getting emotional over things. Some of them are over celebrating, right? Some of them are so emotionally triggered, they're dumping their emotions out over their heads. In the meantime, they're all so distracted that they're being eaten up by the fish, so directly in the water, the giant fish, so emotional triggers. So the advice here is don't allow yourself to be emotionally triggered right now. Protect your emotions. Protect your emotions. Don't allow emotional triggers, right? Protect your emotions. This is like really, really protect them. Don't be foolish with our emotions. We need to get out of this water, get back onto land, ground significantly, center ourselves, and use our heads and be logical. And stay in a high vibration like love and joy. Very high vibrational. There are things to celebrate, but we do not want to be allowing our emotions to trigger us and have us acting out foolishly or obnoxiously, okay? We're meant to keep our vibrations high and be more centered and grounded. That's what this card means. So if they're telling us that, I'm sure there's things coming down the pike. Yeah, there's going to be news coming down the pike that's going to drive people absolutely nuts, and it's meant to. So don't allow the emotional triggers with this 5. The chaotic information that's coming forward, that if you pay attention to, you'll become foolishly triggered, and the information can drive you crazy or cause you to do things that could cause you harm. So, but know that we're coming close to an end, and this is a game of chess, and it is coming close to an end, and the thieves under that table there are about to be exposed. All right, you guys, and then we'll all have a happy, fulfilling ending. But right now, don't allow your emotions to rule you. Be very discerning with this 5 of Swords card. Know that things are ending, already ended. And now it's just about exposure for us to get, because we've got these 2 ending cards. Both of them are 10s. That's something ended, something new is beginning, with that 0 being like amplifying that new thing. So really it's like we've ended something, and now we've ended this chess game, and now it's really just exposing the thief under the table. And, then that's going to feel really good. But in order for the exposure to happen, notice the exposure is over that 5. We're going to hear a lot of bullshit and see a lot of bullshit and hear a lot of lies. This card is not a bit of truth in it. And the one bit of truth, well, there is one bit of truth. One bit of truth that is in it hurts. Okay? So there's a whole shitload of lies going through people's heads. Those are swords going crossways. There's lies that have been laid down onto the ground, swords being crossways. There's only one bit of truth, and it is going to hurt people when they hear it. Okay? So, might hurt you, might hurt me, might not, might hurt others. But we really need to protect our emotions, because we may not like all the truth that we hear when the exposure comes. In other words, there might be somebody that you and I really think is a good person, and we're proving it they're not, or something like that. So protect your emotions, but know the end of this, it is for the highest and greatest good for all of us. Men, women, children, animals, the planet. Happy ending is coming. But right now, just protect your emotions and don't get caught up in this. Be very discerning. Know that we're super close to the exposure. The chess game has ended and the exposure is about to happen. We're about to move into the phase of happy ending. That's what I'm getting, you guys. So take from it what you will and toss the rest. And until next time, know that I love you all very much. I know this is a hell of a long reading, so in the title I will put reading starts at like 35 minutes or something like that. I think that'll be helpful for people that don't want to listen to my ongoing rant and ramble. Stay in that love vibration, you guys. Stay very grounded. Do your spiritual grounding. Do your earthing. But do your spiritual grounding. Do your spiritual protecting. Do your spiritual cleansing and clearing. Do your spiritual connecting. Fill yourself with God's bright white light and love until you're so full it's bursting out of you and you can feel yourself literally physically feeling better. Once your cup is full, you're the cup. Once it's full of all of that love and all of that light, share it from your heart chakra. See it going into the earth, pouring into the earth, filling the entire earth, coming up out of the earth. See that hitting every single thing and soul that is accepting of that love and that light and that healing vibration. Once you see it coming out of the earth, see it going out into the ethers and expanding outward. Set the intention for infinity. Then fill yourself again with all of that love and all of that light. Hold your protection, hold your connection, and re-ground yourself spiritually at the end. And if you do this in the day or in the morning or whatever, if you could get outside and earth after that, get your feet on the ground, get your hands in the dirt, sit up against a tree, spend some time with some animals in the garden, that would be super good for you. If you do this type of work at night, maybe before you do this form of work, hopefully in the evening you'll have gotten your earthing in too. When you're doing that kind of work, definitely drink lots of water. You vibrate higher, so you utilize more fluid. All right, you guys, I love you all, and I will see you soonish. All right, until next time, have a beautiful day. Take care.